Hello, my name is Katrina Boston and I am a graduate student at Colorado Christian University. Today I will be teaching you about the topic of prenatal care, specifically teratogens and environmental toxins and their place in lifespan development. As an overview, I will be defining teratogens, discussing the many varieties of teratogens and environmental factors, as well as the biological, psychological, cognitive, social, and spiritual impact that prenatal care has on the baby as well as on the mother. I will then provide you with resources available for further education and support. So the development of a child is a critically sensitive period where development is rapid. In a woman's first trimester of pregnancy, there are 3 periods of growth, including the germinal period, the embryonic period, and the fetal period. According to scholars Barbara and Philip Newman, the child is particularly vulnerable in the embryonic period between the weeks of 3 and 9 to the disruptive influence to what is known as teratogens. Teratogens are agents that can produce malformations in the baby while the child's tissues and organs are still forming, including the central nervous system and the heart. Teratogens can come in the form of viruses, medications, alcohol and other drugs, as well as environmental toxins experienced by the mother. So the presence of teratogens on environmental toxins can result in birth defects for the baby. Although not all birth defects can be prevented, a woman can take the necessary steps to increase the best health possible for her child. So now that we have taken a little time to define what teratogens are, I would like to get all the students involved in this lecture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up a couple of household items, and I just want you to jot down on your paper your initial perception on whether or not these items could pose as a threat during prenatal care. So the first item that I wanted to share with you is some Pepto, which is just anti-diarrheal and upset stomach. The next item is simple ibuprofen. Next we have some tuna fish. Actually, it's light tuna fish. And just some Dayquil, mucus control, expectorant, and cough suppressant. And the last item I wanted to share with you is an assortment of some teas, some herbal teas. Got green, white, black, and then some different herbal as well. So I just want you to keep these items in mind while I'm doing this lecture, and afterwards we'll have your teacher and you can form discussions on it, okay? So now let's take a look at the different categories of teratogens and how they affect the mother and the child. So viruses or infections are considered a teratogen that can have lifelong effects on a child. An organization that serves as a partner for children's health called About Kids Health provides a list of viruses and infections on their website, including chickenpox, shingles, hepatitis B, C, D, enterovirus, AIDS, listeria, rubella, herpes, any STDs, and syphilis. So some birth defects that can be acquired from teratogens as a result of from a virus or an infection in the mother include mental retardation, learning problems, jaundice, anemia, low birth weight, and vision problems. So it's very important for any mother to talk to their doctor about any viruses or infections that they suspect they might have. This way the doctor can treat the mother and the baby appropriately. So medications taken by the mother have the ability to metabolize in the placenta and actually travel down to the fetus. So although some medications are acceptable to take during pregnancy, Newman suggests that the consequence to the fetus depends on 3 things. The dosage the mother is receiving, the duration of time that she's taking it, as well as the timing of the exposure. So again, between that 3 and 9 week period, that's a very critical period, which is considered to have the most critical exposure to these teratogens. So maternal drug use at any time, including the use of nicotine, alcohol, and any narcotics, are strictly prohibited during pregnancy. So mothers who smoke are at a greater risk for experiencing struggles such as miscarriages, stillbirths, preterm deliveries, and infant mortality. So the child is also at a higher risk for a cleft lip, a cleft palate, ear infections, and respiratory diseases later in life as a result of nicotine. So Newman states that research has shown that prenatal exposure to alcohol can disrupt brain development, interfere with cell development and organization, and modify the production of neurotransmitters, which can lead to fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, including fetal alcohol syndrome. So the use of narcotics have been shown to place babies at a high risk for SIDS, low birth weight, and cortisol reactivity, which contributes to a person's ability to manage and regulate responses to stressors. So long-term impacts of the child include cognitive abilities, such as fine motor coordination, difficulty focusing and maintaining attention. So all these cognitive difficulties can also result in school adjustment problems. Environmental toxins are commonly found in the mother's workplace through air, water, and the handling of mercury, which is in many products. So exposure to chemicals and various hazardous toxins have an impact on the child in the womb. Interestingly enough, Newman states that pregnant women can also be susceptible to these toxins by their loved ones by experiencing secondary exposure. So as I have discussed, teratogens have the ability to affect the child's biological makeup, which in turn can affect the child psychologically, cognitively, and socially. So you may be wondering, okay, how does all this information affect me, a high school student? So for some individuals, acquiring this knowledge may allow you to understand your own personal lifespan development. You know, if you or your loved ones around you have experienced any kind of birth defects or any kind of struggles as a result of teratogens. So no matter the situation, children are valuable. And I wanted to share a verse from Psalm 127, and it states, "Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them." So as a society, we must be aware of how sacred a child's life is and really work to give them the best future possible. From another perspective, as young adults, you now have the knowledge to educate others about the dangers of teratogens. You could possibly be that one person who changes the whole life course and development of one child. Imagine how amazing that would be. So with this knowledge, you also carry the responsibility to act on your part in order to prevent the possible secondary exposure. So if you're interested in learning more about prenatal care and teratogens, please visit the website for the nonprofit organization Mother to Baby, who are individuals dedicated to promoting evidence-based information to mothers, healthcare professionals, and the public about medications and exposures during pregnancy. You can find several valuable links on their website, including links to the National Birth Defects Prevention Network, the March of Dimes Birth Defects Prevention Network, and the Environmental Protection Agency. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention also offers a whole list of medications on their website that are safe to take during pregnancy and breastfeeding, the effects they have in pregnancy, infection prevention, and what to do if you have accidentally been exposed to teratogens. So now your teacher can open you guys up for your discussion about the household items and answer any questions that you guys might have had. Thank you.